Chapter 86, and Xiaoxue is injured 1. Zhu Tuing had seen the genetic ability field even before he entered the school. The former commander of the Jincheng Prefecture Preparatory Defense Force, Liu Tianhu, had relied on his genetic ability field to fight against the Earth Element's superb individual. Otherwise, they would not be able to take it. The genetic ability field was also called the energy field. It was an energy field that was released by a unique combination of unique genetic ability chains. It was also one of the fundamental reasons that the extreme branch could go against the mystery branch in the later stages of the system. According to the modern theory of genetic evolution, every individual carries a natural force field. These force fields varied in strength and size. However, most of them could only be found in individuals. For example, a person would be blocked by the wind when they walked. On the surface, it looked as though a person was being pulled back by the wind. However, in reality, this was merely a result of the interaction between a person's force field and the wind. The ultimate guiding principle of the extreme branch was that they could strengthen this energy field by continuously strengthening the various genetic ability chains. That way, they could obtain powerful combat strength. The energy fields of the extreme branch were similar to the mind power and supernatural energy of the mystery branch. The initial understanding could even be interpreted as an accumulation of power. However, along with the genetic evolution of newcomers from the extreme branch, every major breakthrough would bring about a qualitative breakthrough to the energy field. Under normal circumstances, genetic liberators were rarely able to unleash energy fields. However, they could unleash energy field attacks through special genetic ability chains. This unique genetic ability chain was also called a genetic battle technique. Under normal circumstances, genetic abilities were relatively easy to train and obtain. For example, low-grade speed, low-grade perception, low-grade climbing, low-grade strength, etc. These genetic abilities could be obtained by activating the corresponding genetic base points. However, genetic battle techniques not only required the activation of the corresponding genetic base points, but they also required a large amount of training and even actual combat. Genetic battle techniques were a branch of genetic abilities. However, under normal circumstances, genetic battle techniques required more genetic base points to be activated. Strictly speaking, Zhu Tuing would be able to obtain the low-level instantiation ability after he successfully trained in the first level of the Mind Concentration Foundation forging technique. A low-level instantiation ability could also be regarded as a genetic battle technique. However, Zhu Tuing, who had studied hard for more than a month after he entered the school, had a different understanding of this, especially after he came into contact with the Genetic Ancient Martial Arts School. The Genetic Ancient Martial Arts also mentioned genetic battle techniques and energy fields. But in the Genetic Ancient Martial Arts, energy fields were more commonly called internal energy and true energy. The legends of inner energy and true energy could be traced back to the ancient times of Wuxia, ever since humans have done scientific research 300 years ago, which started before the Great Genetic Age that was around the 20th century, which was around 1900. In the 160 years from 1900 to 2060, all of humanity's scientific testing methods and machines failed to capture realistic, materialized internal and true energy. The so-called inner energy and true energy were things that did not exist in front of science, as if it were just an imagination. However, after the year 2060, the founder of the Genetic Ancient Martial Arts, Cheng Fengxi, recreated the inner energy and true energy that had been questioned for hundreds of years. Through the combination of the dialectics and the genetic ability arena, he had cleared the name of the ancient martial arts. He also caused a sensation when he became the publicly acknowledged Grand Master of the Genetic Ancient Martial Arts. However, it was not explosive. That was because the so-called internal energy and true energy of the Genetic Ancient Martial Arts were essentially energy fields. The genetic ability field could be activated by activating genetic base points in an orderly manner to form genetic ability chains. Even if they dragged an ordinary student into the group, 9 out of 10 students would be able to succeed if they had enough resources. And not everyone could replicate the so-called internal energy and true energy that had appeared in the Genetic Ancient Martial Arts. Under such a situation, the promotion of Genetic Ancient Martial Arts was not high. However, Zhu Tui wanted to have a better understanding of both the energy field he experienced today and the so-called internal energy and true energy of the genetic ancient martial arts. I have to consult Luo Murong when I have the time, even if it is to clarify my situation. Zhu Tui silently told himself that. After all, based on the current situation, Zhu Tui's meditation had something to do with the genetic ancient martial arts school. The battle with Li Cheng had made Zhu Tui deeply realize how lacking he was. Even though he had already materialized low-grade mind power and had a certain level of practical use, he relied on the mental alls, mental shields, mental bricks, and other tactics he developed to win 4 consecutive matches. However, Zhu Tui still felt a sense of crisis. The only advantage he had in materializing his mind power was that it was strange. Once a student slowly got to know this and developed a targeted battle strategy, he would slowly lose their advantage. A month and a half was enough to greatly enhance the abilities of the students from the Extreme Branch and Superb Branch. But what about Zhu Tui himself? If he could not actively attack with his mind power within the next month and a half, then Zhu Tui would have no chance of entering the Longhu list. Zhu Tui placed great importance on the first-year Longhu list. After all, that was a great opportunity to solve a portion of his training resources in school. However, he would not be able to get onto the Year 1 Longhu list without having the strength. Zhu Tui was a little confused.